Hi, I'm Bob with Wolfe Ridge. Let's take a tour of the Yappa 365 TR Basic Firewood Processor. But before we do that, let's address the elephant in the room. Firewood logs. Guys, right behind me, I have some very nice firewood logs. This is processor food. This stuff would work fantastic on any firewood processor, but especially on the Yappas, we will fly through the logs that you see behind us. Now, full disclosure, we are in the Great Lakes region and pulpwood like this is readily available. And this isn't available in every market. I understand that, we understand that, and we'll never try to sell you a machine that isn't fit for your operation or your market, so keep that in mind. With our firewood processors, or any firewood processors for that matter, you want to have nice logs going into it if you want to be productive and or profitable. With that said, these logs behind us were about $115 per cord delivered. And we're gonna turn that around into bundle grade wood. If we were selling that stuff per cord, we'd sell it for around $300, but since it is going into bundles, we're getting between $400 and $500 per full cord. So that's always something to keep in mind when you're looking at your operation, because if you have good logs like this, you will be fast with the processor, you'll be productive, you'll be profitable. We had other stuff that I could get here that was about 70 or 80 bucks a cord, and you can see a lot of it behind me. A lot of messing around, probably takes twice as long when you're going through a firewood processor, and that's not how to be profitable and productive in the firewood business. Let's take a tour of the Yappa 365. The 365 is available in several configurations and renditions. Right here, you see the 365 Basic TR Basic Tractor PTO. This will run off of a 30 to 35 horse tractor's PTO using a 540 RPM shaft. We actually run it at 400 RPM, and you just need a 12 volt source for the hydraulic oil cooler that is on the processor. If you have that power option, this is the most effective way, this is the most efficient way to get into a Yappa 365. So I'll go over the basics of this machine. This can do a 14-inch diameter log, 23.5-inch max cut length, so almost 2 feet. This outfeed conveyor actually has a mechanical pivot on it as well. Right down here, I can put my foot on here and grab the conveyor, and I can pivot it into 5 different positions. We recently did a short video with this thing last week, and we got kind of excited, run a couple logs through it, and we were overshooting this IBC tote. Now, the outfeed conveyor on this machine has 1 speed. So when you start the tractor and engage the PTO, that conveyor is moving. We have on here the optional hydraulic log lifter package. And again, logs like this is how you'll be productive with a machine like this. If you can't get logs like this, you know, it's possible that you can still run them through the machine, but you'll probably have some more messing around. Logs like this will take about 1 minute each to go through the processor, assuming that we're cutting them at 16-inch lengths. So we've got our bunks laid down here, and realistically, we could put the bunks a little bit further, closer to the machine, so the logs would roll right off the bunks and onto the lift arms. And there's an optional feed roller you can get as well. The log lifter comes standard with this idle roller here. Now, the 365 Basic is also one of the most easiest processors to run. There is 1 lever here, and how this works is if I push back this way, that will run the infeed belt, and the log will infeed until I hit the positive log stop. We'll get to that in a minute. And I will pull down here to run the saw, and you can see this does not take much effort to pull down. I have 1 finger holding it right now, and we hold down until the log is cut all the way. I always make sure to watch in the split chamber because this is a very fast machine, and as soon as you let up on this handle, the splitter will start. So if you see that something landed in there sideways or you want to stop it, you can either open the hood or slap this stop lever here. And this is a momentary for the split cycle. So if we hit it this way, it'll do 1 full split cycle, and if it's in the middle of the split cycle and you want it to go home, you just hit that stop lever there. This does have the hydraulic connections to run the log lifter or a hydraulic log rack, and in this case we're just using the lifter. I will show you. This valve right here controls those connectors down there, and the infeed belt motor loops through this hose right here. So if we had a power rack hooked up to this thing, we would have this going to the rack first and then coming back here. This is just a safety for the log lift when the log lift is folded up. And this thing folds up relatively compact. That infeed will fold straight up into the machine, and this log lift will fold straight up as well. And it actually telescopes as well. If you look here, this right here can still slide out another probably 3 feet. So if you're gonna do 12 foot, 14 foot logs, you can do that. Normally, when I'm running the log lift, I will take this off completely, but just so it stays with the machine. We don't know what the customer is gonna want, if they want the log lift or not. We're just keeping it with the machine, so it is just there for safekeeping. And you'll see as I lift logs that kind of gets in the way a little bit, but that's the reasoning for it. Here we have mechanical height adjustment for the knife. This has a 2 4-way knife or wedge as standard equipment. And right now you can see we were running some, I think this is maple through here. It's not pine. We had a couple people say it was pine. This is definitely not pine. And we have the positive log stop, which I think is a huge feature if you want to have always the same length. And we've got it set to just under 16 inches. So I will have a cookie that I end up tossing out. Everyone's operation is different. You may choose to just split it up, along the way so that you have one short piece at the end. But we want to make most of our stuff 16 inches and uniform, so we will just throw the cookie on the ground. You can see there's a few here. And then I will use those cookies for our kindlets. This door right here is spring-loaded, and that keeps downward pressure on the log as it's getting fed into the machine. So when you're cutting, you've got a nice solid clamped log, and it does have adjustment. There are multiple hole positions here and multiple hole positions here, and then you can also add extra tension to that if you desire. We've got basically a saw guard here. Something crooked comes in, bounces off of this before it hits the bar and chain. And this is running a 15-inch bar and chain, 3/8, 58 gauge. We run a 57 driver chain on this. And this has a hydraulic powered automatic bar and chain oiler. Right here is the adjustment for that. And if you wanted to have more bar oil, you would loosen this up, because that will allow more travel of the piston. Every time that the saw gets activated, there's travel of a piston in there, which squirts the bar and chain oil into the bar groove. And here is the outlet of the processor. Oh, what we got coming out of here, some maple going up the belted conveyor. This is 13.8 feet, 14 foot is pretty close. And this folds in half and then straight up into the machine for transport and or storage. Now I'll take you to the back side of the machine. This does have 3-point on it, so you can hook up your 3-point to move this around. It also does have pallet fork pockets on it, so you can move it around that way. This machine can be configured with a gas engine on it. You can see there are holes in the frame there, so we can put our engine stand on, and over here would be the fuel tank stand if that was the case. In this case, it is a Tractor PTO powered machine, so we are running just a single 540 RPM shaft from the tractor to the processor, and that'll run all the functions of the processor aside from the hydraulic oil cooler. And we use a SAE 2-pin connector here in the USA for these oil coolers, and we include this so that the customer can put this on their tractor, and then they can just have a 2-pin plug. And oil cooler is really nice to have, especially if you're running a lot of hardwood. And like I was saying earlier, you can produce a lot of firewood with this machine, and 1 log a minute, it's doing a lot of work. So here is the sawdust outlet, and you can see there's 2 kind of pilot holes here. If you wanted to put a sawdust hose adapter on here, that would screw into there. I'm going to fire up the tractor, engage the PTO, and we're going to make some firewood. Found that just above that 540E mark gets us to about 400 RPM. I can tell just by the sound of this thing, if I engage the saw, that sounds right to me. I think that you'll be able to hear me, but basically what I'm going to do now is roll this log down here, put these arms all the way on the ground, which I should have done to start with. And like I said, if I had the bunks kind of shifted over this way a little bit and closer to the processor, that would help. But basically all I got to do now is lift up on this lever, and that will run the log up. And then once it's up all the way, roll it forward. See, we're sitting on this roller and we're down there. We're a little taller than what the belt is, so what I'll do is I'll put a little downward pressure with my hand here so that I touch the belt while I'm pushing on the lever here. So that'll bring it in. And then, so I'm just holding this lever back until I hit my log stop. I hit the log stop. Now I'll pull down the saw. And then when I pick up on the handle, the splitter starts. Now, I don't like the size that I just split there, so I'm going to take a bigger piece here, and I'm going to run that through the knife here just by doing a single split cycle. And now I can lower that wedge. So I'll drop the wedge down a little bit because I want a 4-way split this stuff. We do small splits for our bundle customers. So again, I'm just pushing, saw. Now, I'm down at the end here, and I'll grab the camera after I put a few more logs here to show you what I'm looking at, but there are stamped numbers in the infeed tray here, and I want to get to number 4. That means 40 centimeters or 16 inches. So I'm going to get to push on this gently and get to number 4. I'm going to cut the cookie. Then, I open the hood at the same time I let go of the lever, so when the splitter was going to start, I opened the hood. That stopped the splitter. Now I got a piece for the kindlet also. Then our last log here, we'll just drop that into the split chamber and hit the start lever once. We're splitting. Come back over here. I got a little bit of a, I don't know, that one's already pre-split, but a little bigger diameter. So I'll get that over here to the lift, put the lift down first. And flip it over here. Run the lift up, and remember I was telling you about this flap here. I want to make sure that I clear that. Then I'll flip this in here, and same thing. I'm going to put a little downward pressure on here so it pulls it in. And I don't know how this is going to end up splitting because it's already pre-split, but let's see what happens here. For reference, I want to show also this handle, you know, you do have to pull on it. The 365 Pro has a joystick control, but this handle, even when it's cutting wood, this is one finger. So really not difficult to use at all. Now again, split chamber, open the hood at the same time I put the handle up. That way the splitter doesn't start. Now I got this big chunk, feed that in, fall down into the split chamber, and I'm gonna pick up the knife a little bit on this one, and there we go. Number 4 is right up in there, and that's what I'll look for to get a 16-inch piece to drop into the split chamber. Now when this hood is open, nothing works. Obviously I can't pull the saw down to engage it because it's hitting the hood, and the splitter, this doesn't do anything when the hood's open. So you got a good element of safety there. When the splitter is cycling, I can still run the saw. So I'll bring this log up. So basically while the splitter is doing its thing, I can feed in my next cut and start on my next cut while the splitter is still going. So let's see how long this log takes, start to finish here. And again, I'm putting a little bit of downward pressure here just to make the belt grab it. And let's go. My last log's a little bit long, looks like it's almost 18 inches, so I'm gonna increase the log stopper one more time. I'll show you how I do that. Here's the log stopper adjustment. What's really cool about this is the log stopper itself has 3 holes in it, so you can kind of fine tune. Right now, this is showing we're sitting just above 16 inches. Maybe a little inaccurate. I'm gonna pull this out, and then I'm just gonna go to the next available hole, see that? And drop that down. And to be honest, really don't even need to use this pin, but I will since it's here. And now let's do one more log. Again, I'm gonna roll it here on those idlers just to get it on here a little further. Push it in, see what we got. We're landing in the totes this time, guys. And I guess it's time for some more rain. So, I'm gonna call this video good. I'm gonna shut the tractor down here and talk for just a few more seconds here. So, the 365 Basic and the 365 Pro are both very fast machines, as long as you got the right wood for them. That's something to always keep in mind. Again, with these processors or any processor in general, you want to be productive and you want to be profitable in a firewood business. Spend a little more on the logs if you can. That's just my suggestion. You don't have to listen to it, but you can see how easy it was to run logs through this machine, being that they are the way they are. And again, I know that that's not possible in every market, but here in the Great Lakes area, we're able to get pulpwood like this. We got to pay a little bit more for it, but to me, it's totally worth it. If you'd like more information on any of the Yappa firewood processors, the Wolfe Ridge product offerings, Rami, or Firewood, please check out our website, www.wolferidgemfg.com. There you can find our pricing, tech specs, photos, videos, dealer locator, that event schedule, and much more. You can also give us a call or send us an email. I'll put those links in the description. I want to thank you guys for watching. As always, thank you for the support. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on what's next at Wolfe Ridge.